It's Indy's first full day here at the sanctuary. She's getting definitely the Minnesota treatment. It's only about 55 degrees here today and windy, which is odd. Usually it's warmer. She has been in her night house. She had her TV. Oh, she's a little nervous about the guillotine, which I can't blame her. That's a really loud noise. But she's been talking like crazy. Hey, beautiful! Come up and chuff. Oh, I know, that guillotine door is scary. So she has her pool filling for the first time. We'll see what she thinks. She'll probably need some little bit of time to get her bearings down again because she's been in her night house. But today she's going to see her big girl pool for the first time with toys. And you guys can stay here too, because in a little bit, once she's got her kind of bearings and comfortable again, then we're going to introduce her to Nova on the shared wall. She's listening to the UTVs right now. She can hear them. A lot of stimulation. Little chuffs looking around. Where are you going? Oh, and we have a lot of staff and interns coming down to see this moment, because usually they don't get to see the big cats when we release them because they're a lot higher stress than this little girl is. So she's going to have a lot of support and a lot of things to look at as she figures out her habitat. Still, I think the grass is still her favorite of everything. Indy, you're so cute. It's grass time again. Well, I guess the simplest pleasures are sometimes the best. You know, a pool with all the toys doesn't compare to a box or even regular grass. So many chuffs. And if you're new to the sanctuary, chuffing is a happy sound. It's a way tigers say hello. Oh, she's discovering her pool. Let's go up here. Oh, we got a hiss at that toy. Got a hiss at that toy. Everything's going to take some getting used to, isn't it, good girl? She's looking at the neighbor kitties again. And all the people. You don't have to go in your pool if you think it's too cold today, Indy. If you're just joining us, Indy came from Arizona. She had a rough start to life. She was bred and sold for the captive wildlife trade, had one owner, then was sold to another owner who then tried to sell her online for $25,000. Luckily, undercover agents got involved and were able to seize Indy and send her to Southwest Wildlife while they finalized the case against the person that was selling Indy illegally online. And she got to grow up from January to now, almost 5 months there. And when the case was resolved, we agreed to provide Indy lifetime sanctuary here at the sanctuary. And also Katie, who has been Indy's caregiver for the last 6 months, 5 to 6 months, came with to see her transition, to help Indy transition, to get to see where she's going to live. So this is one of the most happy endings we can have when we have situations that start like this. She's going to know nothing but compassion and companionship of her own kind, hopefully. Never know abuse or neglect, and we're just so thankful for authorities and everybody that intervened early enough to give her the best chance in captivity, since sadly cats that are born in captivity like Indy can never be re-released to the wild. So going to an accredited sanctuary is probably the best thing that can happen to her. But sadly, we still wish all the animals. Usually the pool makes you have to go potty, doesn't it? Yeah. Sadly, we just wish all the animals we rescue could live wild and that we don't see more wildlife being bred and sold and trafficked in captivity. But until that day, we still have a big cat crisis. We have a small cat crisis in the United States. We have cub trafficking crisis. And so ours and other sanctuary services are going to be needed. Sorry you don't get any privacy today when you take your morning bathroom break. That's a good long one. You held that one for a while, didn't you? Then she's got to see what she's done, you know, be very proud. Yep. Look at, that's all you. That's all you, Indy. Oh, you're such a silly lady. So even though we're talking kind of baby talk to her and have nicknames, we understand she's an apex predator. A lot of what we do is want to make sure that we have very happy sounding voices when things are going well, so that if we ever did have to break up a fight or really assert ourselves because something bad was happening or they were injured, that then they know when our voice changes, we mean business. And so never do we ever think these guys should be pets or that they're, you know, tactile and should be hugged or kissed. They are apex predators in training, even at this age. And so many people, oops, well, you got to see a little bit of view of her neighbor, but they're very interested. And I was told that Indy did discover her big, large platform last night and go all the way to the top. So we definitely have, the neighbors are very interested. So many chuffs, so much to explore. You tell us when you're super hello, beautiful. You tell us when you're ready to meet a new friend, because we have a feeling you'll be along the fence line. So also we want to say ways that we can support cats like Indy and like our sanctuary. Not only can you share our posts to help educate people, but cats like Indy need sponsorships. It can cost $10,000 a year or even more if the cat needs medical treatment to care for a tiger. Indy's still going to need spay surgery because we do not buy, breed, trade, or sell. I'm going to go over here, Miss Indy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to stalk. We're stalking. So you can see we did put up a blind between her and Daisy. Daisy is very interested. The interesting thing is little Indy does not mind at all. So she's just watching the caregiver. I don't think she has any idea that a friend might be coming out soon. Right now they're going to turn off the pool. We just don't want it too deep for her as she first explores it. And so I want to thank you to everybody who does sponsor. And we also know tiger sponsorships, they could just $50 a month or $600 a year. And all of our tigers need sponsors, not just Indy. But also, if you want to give a different amount, you can join our Monthly Pride. And Monthly Pride is a program where you can give $5 monthly, $10 monthly, whatever is meaningful for you. And so there's so many ways to help Indy and all the rescued residents here at the sanctuary. So I think it's time. She seems pretty comfortable. Teresa, do you want to go and see if Nova, so Nova is going to come out. She's in the back half of this habitat, so it extends far past the wall up to the building. And so right now what we do is we call this a merger habitat. And this is so that cats can get used to each other in smaller spaces, so that we're kind of encouraging them to spend time on a shared wall together to see if there's any type of positive interaction, if there's maybe a kinship, if we can do play dates. This habitat allows that. And so we'll see when she discovers Nova. I think the biggest thing is going to see what is their size difference, and we'll walk over there when Nova comes out. But I think it'll be interesting to see how they do. So we're going to walk over there. I should really go on the other side, but we'll see. Daisy's up saying hello. She's already figured out that there's nothing to be too excited about. So we're going to see what happens when Nova comes to the fence line. So this is going to be Indy's. She saw tigers from about 10 feet away yesterday. Now she's going to be able to be on a shared wall. And if there's any negative interaction or anything like that, we definitely separate. We've done small fencing so that hopefully, but she sees her, and Nova is much brighter color than you. That's why we thought you were so orange. Oh, what's that? What's that? What? Chuffs back and forth. You can also see that Nova still has her winter cub coat. And she is about double the size. It was interesting to see because it's all just Chuffs so far. Happy noises. Nobody's over fixated, which is very positive. Sorry. Hi, Nova. Who's that? So this is Nova. Nova is another rescued cub who's part of our amnesty program, who we have permanent custody of, but came from a legal case as well. And so we've agreed not to share her direct background for her protection. But you can see that we have several cubs here, and we've always had cubs also in our witness protection program, not just our amnesty program, coming from similar situations. Nova's like, are we doing pause? Is this a mirror image? Good girl. We also have another witness protection cat in the background, and Alyssa making noises, happy noises. Babies love to use their paws, don't they? Chuffs and playing, chuffs and playing. But the good news is they're not fixated. They both can look away. So even if they have a little bit of jockeying for dominance, they're safe through the fence. They'll be observed anytime they're together to make sure toes don't go through the fence, things like that. But due to their size, there will not be a play date in, the near future. This is a lot about, do things escalate? Do they not? Do they calm down? This is trial and error in a safe situation, but definitely enrichment for both of them. And we have so many ways to move cats around the sanctuary, through chutes, through crates. If we need to, we can shift Nova back in if there's any concerns, because our biggest thing is not only health of cats, emotional enrichment, and all that, but safety of them too. Because when we're working with apex predators, they all have their own minds, their own behaviors, and we We are here to protect them. But Miss Indy, you don't seem too nervous about meeting a tiger twice your size for the first time, do you? You're so brave. I have a feeling if they were together, which they will not be, Indy would be jumping right on Nova's back. We figured as we have other cats chuffing in the background too. We figured as soon as she got to see another tiger, we in her pool would be chopped liver, and we were kind of exactly right. So if you're new, this is Indy's first experience with a tiger on a shared wall. Nova is about double her size and double her age, so there won't be an introduction to each other soon, but this is a great way for Indy to start learning tiger behavior, and then hopefully have companionship of her own kind when she is big enough. And what we can do too, Nova, is you can probably get a break in a little bit too and go back in, because it's really good to give them some stimulation but then time to decompress. But you can see this little girl, Indy, is so well socialized, so confident, a very happy girl. And I don't think she can get over the grass. That is like seems to be the biggest thing. So you guys got to see it here. You got to see her first time in her pool, which she hasn't gone in yet, but I'm sure she eventually will. And her first time meeting Nova, which, at first I thought she was almost going to be the same size as Nova, but it's funny, once we saw Indy in the crate, we were really like, oh, she's so much smaller than, we thought, especially when you compare to the other rescued cubs we have here at the sanctuary. Oh, there we go. She's probably saying this water is much colder than in Arizona. So if you're just joining us again, we're the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. We want to welcome all our new friends from Arizona who have been following Indy's story and was in the media and everything else. We are an accredited sanctuary in Minnesota. We do not buy, breed, trade, or sell animals, and we aren't open for public visitation. We really are here, a sanctuary for the animals, and we provide free roaming habitats, and our cats can move to different habitats based on their age, based on who they're living with, what amenities they need. They have temperature indoor controlled buildings because we are in Minnesota, but tigers love the snow. And Indy here will definitely get her winter coat come fall, just like the rest that you've seen, kind of the little fluffy Nova over there. And we have 130 residents at our sanctuary. Hi, pretty girl. And you can definitely, we're going to do live posts of her as she grows up. So not only were you part of her rescue, but you can be part of her life. And there's so many ways you can learn about all the ways to donate at our website, wildcatsanctuary.org. Sponsorships are a great way. Monthly Pride, monthly donors are a great way as well. And every one of our residents' bio and story is online at wildcatsanctuary.org, so you can see all of the cats here. You can also go to watchwildcats.com, which is our YouTube channel, and it has so many videos of all the residents, how they live here, our operant conditioning program, our on-site vet hospital, our enrichment program, and so many things that we do here for the cats that we've rescued. So we do not breed here at the sanctuary, and so sadly tigers are endangered in the wild, but we spay and neuter here because we have a captive wildlife crisis. We have more tigers outside the zoo system in private hands in the US than we do in the wild. And sadly, much like puppy mills, these cats are usually often inbred. There's no viable genetics that can help the wild population. And so we do not want more cats born in captivity that cannot help conserve the wild populations. So it is recommended by us, the AZA, and the Species Survival Program to spay and neuter all big cats in captivity that are surplus from the pet market or backyard breeders. But it's great questions. A lot of people aren't aware of that, and it's one of the biggest questions we get is, you know, why we spay and neuter endangered species. And sadly, they're considered generic tigers, which means they were born in captivity outside the zoo system. Their genetic lineage is unknown, often inbreeding, and so they cannot help their wild ancestors at all in the wild. So we'll take a walk down. Katie, so what are your first impressions?
This is awesome. I see you're so happy, and your interaction with Nova is awesome. I love to see her so playful.
She's stalking everybody. Let's see, is Daisy's already like, I've done this so many times. I've seen, so this is, Daisy came to us as a cub too, and she sadly had a spinal meningitis, a very bad neurological condition where the USDA got her surrendered, and thinking we were just going to have to euthanize her. It took a lot of medical attention, a lot of visits to the University of Minnesota to be able to help her. And Daisy now lives alone in her natural habitat. So as Nova grows, she'll get even a bigger habitat with trees, pools, and things like this. Daisy, what are you doing? Chuffing? And so we do have tigers that live together too, so if you're new to us, definitely join us during our live posts during the week. Judson takes you around the entire sanctuary and all the residents here. We have tigers at our sanctuary, we have cheetahs, we have leopards, we have sadly every type of cat that people try to make as a pet and should not. Hello! Well, can you say... I guess you can say that. I think that's Miss Indy saying thank you for everybody who supported me to get to my forever home.